And we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I probably sound slightly tired, even though I have to say I had a really, really good sleep last night. So, how are you all doing? Let me know down in the comments if you're watching live or on the replay. This is going live out to both YouTube and also Facebook. So, today I thought I would do something slightly differently because I've got a slightly different setup. So, today is a bit of a test to see if the setup will work and also if some of the new gear which I've got, which I'll probably just give you a bird's eye view of just now. I'll just move the cup of tea out of the way. In a suspiciously too early Christmas mug, it has to be said. And I've been very kindly given a MacBook Air, which has been absolutely brilliant because I've just been able to experiment with some of the features of Logic, which I have not been able to do on my Intel Mac. So that's something which we're going to be having a quick look at today. And a very quick look at some, well, I don't really want to platform them, but some music related news related to a group of people who probably shouldn't be platformed, but ultimately I will briefly mention them without naming them. I will probably show you on the screen and you'll probably know what I'm going to be talking about. There's an event in the UK which has happened this week, a political event, but one music aspect of that stuck out to me. We're not going to have any keyboards at the minute because I've realised that the setup here, although this is plugged in, I've actually not plugged it in to either of the systems that I'm using to broadcast today, which was very clever. It does work. It's absolutely fine. It is beautiful. But what I'm going to need to do is, I think what I'm going to do is, if I'm going to be demonstrating more advanced features via Logic, I think I'm going to have to just show you with maybe getting a dock or something. That's the last thing. I do have one. I just haven't plugged it in today. So that's all good. So I just thought I would share something with you controversially. Two controversial things today because I'm going to be talking to you, as I promised earlier in the week, last week, that we're going to be talking about AI and its use in music. So I want you to pile on in the comments. I want you to say about the good things, the tools that you use, if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing. I want you to absolutely let me know, and I will feature those comments. So I want you to let me know what you think of it. I'm going to just discuss something which I think how it possibly could be used, and I will give you some opportunities to try what I'm showing you for yourself. So using the given Mac, basically I've just got a session of Logic open at the moment and I've imported this audio track. Now I'm going to play a bit of it. It's completely royalty free, so I am told, but you're going to hear what I mean by this, the generic nature of it, because I've generated this based on lyrics which I fed in and styles which I then fed in. But I'm going to say how I think it could be used creatively, and this is how I'm going to use it. I'm certainly going to be working on this a bit more, and I'm going to be examining the different features of this song by showing you a really favorite feature of mine in Logic, and that is the stem splitter. So I'm hoping that this works because I know that I know it works really well in the iPad version. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this audio file and I'm just going to simply right click on it and go down to split, and then I am going to ask it to I thought there was going to be a stem split feature in here. I wonder how you do it on the new version. You'll let me know in the comments. Split it, playhead. I was hoping that it was going to be nice and easy, but on this screen it's quite small, but we'll have to have a look. So I'm going to just see if we can do that. There might also be, oh yeah, here we are, under processing and in stem splitter. I knew it was not too far away. So we're going to split this into vocals, drums, bass, guitar, piano, and other. So 6 different parts, and I haven't even done any tempo matching or anything on this where I basically match the click to match the song. I'm just going to go straight ahead and apply, and it is going to now split those that one MP3 track which I've got into its component audio section. So I'm going to have vocals on their own. I'm going to have hopefully some instrumentation in there because in this track we've got orchestrations, we've got rhythm, we've got bass parts, we've got all sorts. So it's just going to take just over a minute. But what I thought I would do is I'm going to give you a preview of how this sounds. I'm just going to play the audio file just as a preview from the actual Mac. Have a listen to this and see what you think just while this is stem splitting. So you got basically piano with strings here. A fairly standard, I don't know,
in the shadows
introduction.
Where whispers blend, a journey lingers, our paths will mend. never too far away. Thoughts intertwined, floating on the edge of a dream divine.
It builds up here.
Never too far away.
So I thought that was quite an interesting start. When I played this to my family, there was some reactions like, "Oh, it sounds like Evanescence. It sounds like Eurovision, a Eurovision song." And I thought, "Yeah, you're right. You're right." But a Eurovision song would probably hit in much quicker. There wouldn't be so much of a lead in at the beginning. I mean, this is like 5 minutes. Yeah, so it's fine. It's not probably how a catchier song would be, but I think it would probably it's okay to work with for now. I'm just going to move on to the, I don't know, maybe kind of pre-chorus.
Oh, you're mine.
So
Edge of a dream divine.
so here's the pre-chorus.
Hope we meet again someday in the laughter of the night's ballet. Join till the ends of time in the silence. I know you're mine. Help is here now.
And then it goes into this next section, which is the most bonkers thing ever. Where it's almost like, it feels like it loses its momentum a bit. See what you think.
Floating on the edge of a dream divine. Hope we meet again someday in the laughter of the night's ballet. Join till the ends of time in the silence. I know you're mine. Help is here, never fear.
And it goes into this other bit again, which seems like it loses, it sticks it in, but it kind of loses that momentum a little bit.
Echoes of our love drawn near.
And here's the chorus, here's the hook, which I quite like, and I think I'm going to be using in a version of it, but the lyrics are awful, but I thought the melody and the accompaniment for this bit was actually not too bad. Have a listen, let me know what you think.
Joining hands, let's dance together in the storm. Let's face the weather, hold you up and share your truth. In this moment, we'll find our youth. I'm glad I'm friends with you through every shadow, every hue. We breathe the same air, we rise, we soar. Time goes past, but I care even more.
And then it basically goes into the next section. So, I mean, it's quite a fascinating thing, because I thought, well, bits of this could probably be repurposed. And so what I was just going to do was just listen to that chorus bit. And because I haven't had time to do this yet. I just want to see if, so basically, how come that's, changed its audio, right? Let me just get that done. This was working fine before. Right, let's go down to sound. Just check it's not just changed itself. I think it has. Yes, multi-track. Output. Yeah. So hopefully you should be able to hear me broadcasting fine. At least I hope you can. Certainly tell me it is. Yeah, we're good. So I know why. I need to tell Logic, don't I? Need to tell Logic. Okay, here we go, general. Audio. Yes, we don't want the speakers. We want the roadcaster, thank you very much. Here we go. Let's try again. Okay.
When the stars align, our spirits connect. Those dark moments we shall hear.
I'll just cut out the vocal.
And together in the storm, let's face the weather, hold you. In this moment, we'll find our youth. I'm glad.
So you've got this situation where, because it is MP3, and that's obviously how you're given it, then you've got the option to rework this. Now, what I can do is I can actually export this as individual audio files and treat this in the other version of Logic that I've got on the Intel Mac. But this bit here I quite like. Just gonna cut out the vocal. this is the bit I wanted to focus on.
When the stars align,
Ooh, that's rough.
not neglect. When energies collide and the world feels frail, in this ethereal light we shall prevail.
So, I mean, that drum part is quite generic. I can imagine that would be more driving. You know, if you wanted to come in with verse 2, and do let me know in the comments, but if you had, you know, if you had verse 2, you'd want that to be a little more like you something that would be driving in the background there. I don't know, just to kind of keep the momentum going. Because then the structure then goes back to that pre-chorus, whereas I would imagine it would be, I'll have a listen and let me know.
You are the strength in my gentle heart, in the depths of chaos. You are the art. With every heartbeat, a promise we bind. In the orchestra of life, our souls are aligned.
I mean, that makes no sense, but there you go.
Help is here, never fear. With every note, your song draws near. Joining hands, let's dance together in the storm.
And that bit should be bigger, but it's okay.
Let's face the weather, hold you up and share your truth. In this moment, we'll find our youth. I'm glad I'm friends with you through every shadow, every hue. We breathe the same air, we rise, we soar. Time goes past, but I care even more. Dark skies may fall, but we shall show.
Nice mid-late bit that I thought this bit was. And you're gonna hear how it kind of goes into like how would I describe it? It goes back to a bit where I think, no, I should go right back into the chorus.
Let's dance together. The echoes of our laughter resound through the night. With you by my side, everything feels right. In the heart of the chaos, we find our grace. In the dance of our lives, we embrace space.
So this bit here, I sort of thought is interesting because it's building back up again. I'd probably change the lyrics. I'd probably change the melody. I think I will, and shorten this section a bit. And you go back into the build-up.
Joining hands, let's dance together in the storm. Let's face the weather, hold you.
And I noticed that it's quite chilled out here, but then this bit, this should have come in earlier.
Find our youth. I'm glad I'm friends with you through every shadow, every hue. We breathe the same air, we rise, we soar. Time goes past, but I care even more.
Possible ending there, but then we come in with some more stuff.
For our hearts persist in the tapestry.
And it kind of fizzles out.
I'm your love, I wish. Through the darkest nights, we'll chase the dawn. Forever our souls are drawn.
It sounds like it's so much underwater. Again, that's just because it's MP3, so it's already compressed. And this is the thing, you're not really getting you're not getting the good thing is, I probably should say this, the good thing is you're not getting an out of the gate, ready to roll, ready mastered, high quality, 48 kilohertz track. You're getting standard, you're getting generated stuff. It would not be able to generate that level of audio. So MP3 is obviously more manageable and less energy and memory intensive. But in terms of ideas, that chorus is worth looking at. But of course, the other orchestrations, which I was hoping to sort of highlight. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it has down here.
Joining hands, let's dance together in the storm.
So what I would do now is I'd probably just busk a few ideas over it. And I would probably start chopping up this song. And then with this, I would start to overlay my own and my own lyrics and my own. I mean, the lyrics I actually gave were completely different. This is what I just don't understand. So the lyrics themselves were it's taken the lyrics I even gave it and it said, I'm going to change the lyrics as well. So I mean, it doesn't always, this is the thing. If you've got lyrics that you know are going to be better or will flow better or tell a better story or whatever, then really you don't really need tools like this to actually sort of come up with ideas, especially when it's going to absolutely alter them anyway. Now, there's some themes in there which absolutely make zero sense. And so it's just been generated for the sake of just trying to find things that rhyme or rhythmically that fit into the actual notes and the melody that's been generated. But I hope you can hear that there's some really fascinating aspects about this, because what I'm doing is I'm taking inspiration from it. I almost would like to think of it as working in symbiosis with, rather than relying too much on, it generates some ideas and you go, I like that, or I don't like that, or I'm going to work with this. So I suppose you could argue, am I using this as a tool to replace? No, I'm not. Am I using this as a tool for collaboration, an alternative collaboration? Quite possibly, yes. But it does not take away, in my opinion, the ability for human-to-human songwriting connection and emotion and shared stories and experiences, because that's ultimately what these take away from. They just give you generic spaff. They just give you audio that, will sound good, in connection with each other. But in the moment you split this up into its component parts, you sort of think, it doesn't really work quite as well. But I'm going to use this as an inspiration, supposedly, because it is a different way of writing. I mean, obviously, I'm more known, as you know, on the channels, as someone who deals with orchestration, film, media, that kind of thing. And I sort of enjoy writing and trying out new things and new styles, because that's ultimately where the inspiration comes from. And if ever I can get inspiration, that's even better. So I'm going to be using, just for this example, this tool. Now, the tool itself, I'll leave the link in the comments below. But if you will go to bit.ly/Songer AI, I think it is. I'll leave the link down below. I'm not going to display it on the screen, but it's basically Songer is the website, and it allows you to create. Now, it's really interesting because I found it really useful for creating stings for my son's gaming channel. So I put in a thing of create some jingles, some short stings that he can use in his videos and things like that. But actually, ultimately, it came up with a complete song. And the song was catchy, daft, a little bit rubbish, but the introduction was pretty cool. And I thought, that's like 30 seconds of music that could be clipped. So I suppose if you want to use that, I think there'd be nothing wrong if you wanted something that would allow you to create something that you could then tweak and make shorten, cut up, decent. You're still applying the creative process to it, but and then obviously creating stings that you can have as a jingle, whatever. So like on this, we just have this one, which I've made completely from scratch. I've not used AI. So basically that's that one. And so I made that completely myself in probably about half an hour, and just using orchestral sound libraries. So yeah, and it sounds okay, and I did that. But I mean, imagine if I was to say, right, create for me an orchestral epic series of jingles or stings that I could use, and it came up with something, then that would be quite interesting as well, because you kind of then, you can then chop it up, create in, and make it your own. So it's still very much your own work. So again, you're given these songs and told these are royalty free. And I'm thinking, how on earth can that be? So it must have borrowed these from somewhere, which is why I'm saying, like, use these tools with a pinch of salt, because you just do not know how generated and how close, because the more generic it is, the closer then likely it's going to be to existing songs. But yeah, quite a curious thing to use, and a lot of fun to be able to use as well. So I'm not going to edit too much on here, because I'm not going to do too much in the live, but what I am going to do is I am going to attempt to have a look at this over the course of the week, and then next Sunday I'm going to show you the results and we'll see how it goes. And I'll maybe use the process of this as maybe a topic for a video that we can maybe get you to comment on. So don't forget, I mean, AI, these are tools, these are approaches. This song, would I have written it myself? I don't know. I mean, I asked it to create a strong, powerful lyric, female vocal, Celtic, and it's kind of given me that. but using lyrics that I use, it's then just completely changed all lyrics and given me, I wanted emotive, I wanted strong, I wanted orchestrations. Yeah, it's kind of wild. I would like to sort of put in the same prompts again and see if it came up with a similar type of song. Again, I can maybe do that in comparison, but I think it's important that we go back because I want to show you the other thing I was going to talk to you about today, which, yeah, I probably don't even need to play the actual audio for this. I was going to see if I could extract it and do something with it, but then I thought, no, I don't really want to give them that, nor do I really want to give them advertising. So let me just zoom out of that. There we go. So, yeah, I will lower this and I'm going to talk over it, but this lady here is part of a party in the UK who's basically got quite a narrow view of the world, although they claim it as broad-minded. But she did this song when she came out. I wonder if it worked. I'm just going to talk about it because apparently she's written it herself, and I don't know, this kind of slightly worries me a little bit. This kind of character personality based approach to politics, or populist based approach to politics. Yeah, slightly worrying for me. But I wonder if she generated this using AI, which is kind of why I wanted to play it today. So anyways, enough of that. So yes, that lady there is an MP for a party in the UK which is trying to bring on board new folk, very much younger folk, in the belief that they are going to be part of a revolution. And yeah, that's all I will say. I will not platform that anymore. But this song to me was like, why? Has she created that with AI? I would love to know. I mean, I haven't really gone out of my way to do much research on it, but do let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think that was generated? Did she have a songwriting team behind her? She's only played what I would class as a chorus or hook, and so I wondered if she'd maybe got that from somewhere. To sing over the top of it, I mean, her voice was okay. Who knows? So yeah, I just find that really fascinating. And so, but back to the music in hand. So in terms of a music story, I haven't really kind of gone out my way to talk about music education per se in the story this week, but I just felt it really fascinating that and I thought, that's kind of clever at the same time, because a lot of people walk out to pre-existing music, and of course a lot of controversial politicians will get done over by musicians that will say, I don't want my music associated with your politics. And so she's obviously created this herself, or has she? I don't know. The jury's out. And then she's decided to sing over the top of it. Yeah, different approach, but I just thought in terms of the wider picture, the bigger themes, maybe this is where this kind of vanity-based projects, to create something quickly based on a few prompts, might just be quite interesting to have a dabble with for those who want to come out to a song they're going to be doing a public speech or whatever. I just thought it's kind of interesting, but then worrying because those that would have written specifically, writing specifically for an event would be quite prestigious. Somebody being asked, no matter what event it is, no matter what party it is, to be able to write something original for them to come out, there's going to be rousing the crowd. This is the other thing I wanted to mention as well, because the use of music in these events is really fascinating for me, because you look at the macro picture, you look at the crowd dynamics, you look at the fact that it's in ridiculously large venues, very high quality production, and the fact that it is trying to professionalize itself. That is kind of powerfully worrying for me, because there's money behind it, and if there's money behind messaging, and the messaging is spread far and wide, then likely more people are likely to believe it and not challenge it as much. So I just thought I just mentioned that the use of AI is another controversy, because if there's going to be powerful tools using to create powerful melodic lines that are going to evoke an emotion and a reaction, that then can be easily used to manipulate. And that is something which I wanted to just highlight now. I might be reading too much into it, but you know, use of music is a powerful thing. When an event has no music at it, you definitely do not feel as invested or as excited to be part of that event. Thinking about bands and things that you go to, they normally give you like the recent Oasis concert. You know, they had a big countdown, a load of music, loads of montage, voiceover, multimedia production. You know, getting the crowd going. Yes, they're about to see the band come on. They're in a heightened state of emotional acceptance. They're expectating. Their expectations are huge. So they're expecting something amazing. Out they come. Wow, the crowd goes wild. I don't know if you could maybe compare that to, say, in politics, but they are certainly attempting to do that. And they are very much attempting to Americanize the approach. So I just wanted to point that out. I am going to, I don't really like to search too much about stuff where I just feel like, well, she came out in a song, it hit the news. I was quite curious as to why she got a song and she decided to sing over the top of it. Because then I think it led into her speech apparently, but ultimately, I would love to know how she did it, who she used. Did she use AI? Did it sound like she used AI? Who knows? It'd be worth having a wee shot. So anyway, I don't want to be too long today because I wanted today to be quite brief, but if you are interested in anything that I've mentioned tools wise, I'm going to leave links to these down below. Also, you might be quite interested in that every Sunday that I'll be live streaming at 10 a.m. as part of Sunday Sound Sessions, and there'll be a different theme every single week as much as I can manage. If I do work on some music in the week, I will share that with you and get your feedback on it, and you can then suggest improvements or alternatives and such like. And as I say, I'm very, very grateful to have been given this MacBook Air by a good colleague and who didn't need it anymore, and said, I know you really love tech, would you like to have it? And I said, absolutely, yes, please, because I knew that it would be something that I could run the new version of Logic on and try the stem split feature, because I know I've been desperate to try that. And so, yeah, I've just used it. I wanted to use a kind of copyright fluid, I'm going to call it. I'm not going to call it copyright free. It is. I've been told it is. But I'm going to call it copyright fluid just in case, because you never know when someone might just say, oh yeah, you know that song that I gave you, I'm going to be claiming on that. So that's ultimately what I'm just cautioning. I'm going to use it as ideas, inspiration, and then I'm going to take the instrumentation and I'm going to use in my own instrumentation. I'm going to chop up the song and I'm going to restructure it. I'm going to redo the lyrics, some of the melody, some of the hits that come in. Some of the deep percussion drums are really good and I like that. But ultimately, I'm using it as a starting point because I'm not really like a songwriter per se. I mean, I've written a few songs you'll hear on the channel. I've written Shadow Friend and a few daft parody Christmas tunes as well back in the day. So I thought, well, to get more serious with songwriting, it's good to sort of listen to lots of examples of songs and to see how they're put together. And maybe AI could be one way of doing that without sounding too similar to an artist that you like. You could put in a whole series of ideas and it generates something and you, oh, I like how the strings work well with percussion there. I'm going to use that in my own idea, and then generate your own ideas. And that's ultimately how it could and should be. Rather than it being, right, I'm going to just generate something and it's going to be something I'm going to claim as mine and then put out there as yours. I think that's a bit more of a worry. I think people still need to exert that creative force whenever they're doing songwriting or instrument writing or whatever. I think it's really important. So anyway, I'm kind of feeling like I'm going on ramble mode. I did say I had a really good sleep last night. I've probably gone on motor mouth. It's just a peppermint tea in this pseudo Christmas mug because we've hit autumn. We've hit autumn, and I know it's too soon to mention this. We're only just into September, but you know, it ain't that far in the corner, and I think time's gonna fly. So we shall see. So we're gonna see out 2025 with style, going live every Sunday. And we're also going to be building up the weekly content as well. So I am going to promise you that I'm going to start uploading content. In fact, what I've decided to do is I have decided to upload to YouTube a series of weekly videos, which I've already filmed and edited. And these are on themes which I know are popular for you as audiences on this channel and also in the Facebook group as well. So I'm going to do those first, and then I'm going to upload some other tutorials which I had done, which I'd kind of kept behind closed doors, and I'm thinking, no, I just need to share these now. There's well over a year's worth of weekly content there, and I'm going to share that with you. And if it's something that you like, then you'll be able to have a look for the full versions of those tutorials that I do have on my courses page at ewansmithmusic.com. www.ecom.co.uk/courses. So do check those out as well. And as ever, if you've enjoyed this live stream, please give it a thumbs up down below. It lets YouTube know and also Facebook know that you like my lives. And to be honest, I haven't really seen many live engaged folk recently because I'm not sure how well it's pushed. So do let me know that you see it and that you've enjoyed it by dropping a thumb, and comment down below as well. Comment what you think about anything that I've mentioned to do with, is AI a force for good? Is it a creative tool that can be used for inspiration? Or is it going to be the end of everything creative? Do let me know down below. And as ever, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next Sunday in next week's Sunday Sounds Sessions. Thank you very much for